Welcome to T-Set Pass, my weekly Yu-Gi-Oh podcast where we talk all things Yu-Gi-Oh. This week we have Mistress Doom back for her second appearance and we talk all about the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, with quite the tangent about her favourite Yu-Gi-Oh anime boys. Let's jump straight in.
The reason why I've changed direction dramatically on my YouTube channel over the last couple of weeks is obviously because I got diagnosed with leukoplakia on the vocal cords.
Yes.
And I was like, well, that could go bad. It might not, it probably won't, but it could. And I could lose my voice. And then I was like, well, what do I leave behind if that happens? And I was like, I wanted to leave behind something for my community that have been with me this whole time that maybe like if I wasn't available to talk or able to stream or anything, they could watch and feel like they were hanging out with me still, like we do with Yu-Gi-Oh. And I was like, well, what better thing to just show my enthusiasm for the anime and such, so you could sit and watch an anime along. And that's why I sort of wanted to do that series, because I wanted to leave some stuff behind beyond just like watching me duel or have a fun time with videos. I wanted to leave behind some stuff that was there if anything went to shit with the whole leukoplakia situation. I wanted to make sure there was stuff there for it.
That makes sense.
And so that's why I wanted to give that video a go.
It's a good video. I would recommend. I'll link it below in the podcast description because I thought it was really fun.
I had fun with it. I loved getting to be a Jack Atlas cheerleader. Of course I did.
I thought it was surprisingly restrained for a long time, but then by the end of the video you go full jack off, which I thought was very fun. Like it you know, they spend far too long telling me how cool Jack Atlas is in 5Ds. Like, damn, that first episode is just like, so Jack's really cool, and I'm like, he is really cool. He is.
And then like 2 seconds of like you said, and they're like, so anyway, back to Jack, and I'm like, did I write this? This could be written by me, honestly.
I love Jack. If you want to talk manga, not manga, anime. I'm going crazy. How is 5Ds your go-to? Like we've spoken more about 5Ds than the others, but like is 5Ds your favorite era of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime?
I already watched 5Ds last year for the first time. I had surgery. Yeah, I had jaw surgery and I couldn't really talk for like 2 weeks. So I just sat on Discord with a bunch of friends and we just watched through 5Ds. That's when I first watched it. And by God, I love Jack Atlas because he's such a himbo, and that's so funny to me, and I just love it. It's ridiculous. But my go-to, like, Yu-Gi-Oh is normally either GX or Arc 5, believe it or not.
No, I love Arc 5 and GX.
I think Arc 5's a lot of fun. GX is just chill. Like, I think most Yu-Gi-Oh series have their charm. I've never watched Reigns, and I can't get through Zexal because I can't sit through something that takes forever to get good. It's the same thing as, like, watching anime, and they're like, well, yeah, you gotta get through this part. Just skip all of Naruto and go to Naruto Shippuden, and then you'll be fine. I'm like, oh, okay. That's
I
really
guess
not
I'll
what I want to
watch,
do.
500 less episodes than I'm meant to? Yeah, and that doesn't seem
like
like a good
that.
way to commit to the fan base. Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, I want to do that. So 5Ds I watched last year, back when I had jaw surgery back in like February last year. And then like I just kind of bounce which one I go to because like honestly, like stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged, if I really want a quick and easy thing to watch, Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged is like one of my favorites to watch. I know it's not the actual official show or anything, but that is like part of my childhood right there, like my teenage years with the Abridged. And it's so funny because now Yami from the Abridged hits on me all the time in real time, and I'm like, this is wild. It's so funny because I know LK and we do streams together, so it's really funny.
That's so crazy.
Kind of thing. But yeah, I bounce Yu-Gi-Oh series. I don't think I have like that optimum series that I would go for. Maybe 5Ds has become very synonymous with me for some reason, which is funny because it was like one I didn't really watch, and it was like, what a stupid idea. But now I have like signer tattoos.
I was gonna say you've got the signer tattoos, which makes people jump to it immediately.
Yeah, but I'm getting the Ojama like next month from the charity incentive.
Very true.
I'm just getting through my jaw treatment like this month coming up, and then I'm going and getting the Ojama done. It's booked in, it's ready to go, it's paid for. It's just gotta go get it. We're getting Ojama Green as we've discovered he's the best Ojama.
I'd say Green's best.
Green is best Ojama for surezies.
I think he's probably got some of the better lines throughout GX. I feel like he's more of the straight guy to the group.
He ain't gonna give me as much disease as the rest.
It's true. He's slightly less feral.
Yeah, he's slightly less diseased, and that makes it more acceptable for having to get that tattooed onto me. So there's that. It's so funny.
I think the thing I liked about the difference between, if you think about 5Ds is weirdly good. Like it's just like
5Ds is really good actually. Yeah.
It's not even just good as a Yu-Gi-Oh show. I feel like it's good on another. I know, and I
Oh, there's some
enjoy.
real stupidness to it.
There's
but
some
it's just
stupidness, but there's gotta
enjoyable.
be
I mean, like
stupid.
the whole NOD thing and the end of the world for synchro summoning. Like, come on, that is like a whole freaking thing. Crashtown exists, and that's a thing.
Crashtown is
because
odd.
Crashtown is hilarious in the dub because the censoring is nuts, and I absolutely cannot wait to, like, I hate Crashtown arc myself, but I cannot wait to get to that for the how broken is. But oh my gosh, I love when people are gripping at their throat, but the thing has been photoshopped around their waist, so it makes no sense. You're allowed gun like dual discs, but whoa, this woman shaking some. That's also really funny because that's the Crashtowns where Jack Atlas pushes the woman over. And then later on, he's like, I deserve a medal for this. And you're like, Jack, all you did was turn up, push a woman over, and then demand a medal. You're so funny.
But he's so brave.
I love him.
He's so strong and brave.
I know. I love him.
I love Jack.
So much.
I always liked Jack more than Yusei as a kid because.
But Yusei's so pretty.
Oh no, I think Yusei's pretty. Don't get me wrong. And I was really, it's weird because I always loved Yusei's voice. I always thought Yusei had like the nicest voice in the series, and then I found out it's the same
Like,
voice
Series of
actor as
5Gs
Tristan.
Or just, yeah, that's Tristan, dude.
And no, but like I didn't know it was Tristan as a kid because I was like, oh my
You
god,
didn't think Yami had the best voice? Can we roll back here a second? You didn't hear Yami and be like, oh my god, daddy, hello.
Yeah, but Yusei though, you know what I mean? Like Yusei
No,
got
hear
Yusei's
Yami.
got that smooth to him. Like Yami too,
No,
Yami too.
No, Yami all the way. Or Bakura, honestly, the weird British. The poorly done British.
I'm not gonna lie, my memories of Bakura have been tainted by Abridged, and it's really hard for my brain to separate Abridged Bakura from actual Bakura. I don't like they're so intertwined in my memory.
A little bit, like Marek for sure. Like when I hear actual like Marek, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, that's your actual voice, right? Holy crud! Because I always just remember the really nasally Marek.
Nasal
from
Marek.
The
To be fair, nasal Marek
yeah.
really suits him because he's such a little. Like...
It really does, though.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's always one of the funnier things. I love how I'm like, why do people think I like 5Ds? And I'm like, oh, nice signer tattoo and Jack Atlas bangs you got on your model there, Doom. Real nice.
Nah.
I kind of have those dark signer vibes. That's what I went with when I was designing this model. The dark. I always call myself a rejected 5Ds villain.
You're that fifth. You're the dark signer that they cut. They ran out of. You're the one. I think.
I was also in a cult, so I wasn't allowed in anymore.
That's true.
That's actually what happened. Yeah, I was secretly in a cult. Sorry about that.
You're
I'm not in it anymore, you know.
You're what they would. Actually, it would fit better because I think in the lore, you know, like the Crimson Devil thing that that becomes the Red Nova Dragon.
Oh, that thing is really.
From my memory of the lore, that is one of the Earthbound Immortals, but it's just an Earthbound Immortal so evil that they didn't want to call it up because they didn't want to deal with its shit. So you're the dark signer who had the Red Devil. There you go. That way you fit with the
sense.
Jack
There
Atlas
you
stuff
go.
as well.
Thank you. My Yu-Gi-Oh lore is now complete forever now. I've never written a lore video about my thing because I definitely didn't start off as a Pokemon. Nuh-uh.
No, definitely.
No,
100%.
that would be copyright and sus for sure, Z's.
You need to get like
just-
the Nazca line tat next.
God no. I already got the Jack Atlas. I want the Millennium Ring as like a bit on my side, like as a tattoo. That's what I want.
That'd be sick.
That would be very cool. I know. I think that's like one of the ones I would want to go for. But yeah, I'm not like, I don't have that one series of Yu-Gi-Oh! I watch. I honestly like most of Yu-Gi-Oh! For there's just it's charming. Like at least the first 3 series, those are all oddly charming. Like GX is just dumb.
GX is dumb fun, and then it becomes like the darkest in the series, which is weird because like.
It's okay. I won't get the dub of that, so it's okay.
Well, I'd still say Series 3 is still pretty dark in dub GX. Like everybody getting. I know they say sent to the stars, but even as a kid, I was like, oh, they ain't coming back, are they? Like. In the same way, your pet might get taken to a faraway farm. I didn't think that there was. We all knew what "sent to the stars" meant in the dub, and we all knew that Jaden and Jesse definitely fancied each other in the dub, no matter how much.
We are all okay with that.
I love that. No, I'm king.
Sure.
As a kid, it was probably like, I was like, he likes him more than his other friends, doesn't he? Like he just does. Like that, he ain't treating Cyrus like this. He ain't breaking down the walls of reality if Tyranno goes missing. They all forgot that Bastion exists. So there's something different going on between these two boys.
I'm all for it. Though.
I love it.
I always find that stuff fun because I grew up on when I was 5, I think I saw the Rocky Horror Picture Show, so I've always been incredibly open-minded.
Yeah.
Ever since that, as a child, I was like, cool, fishnets are cool, everyone should wear fishnets, yay. What a great life I lead. So it made me very open-minded on that shit, so I am all for that kind of stuff. I'm like, my friend Taka, he likes to say this a lot when he's on the channel, and he'll rant about it till the end of the time. He's like, I like that Jaden had sex with Yubel and then became evil because he had sex. And I'm like, that's not what canonically happened, but okay.
Might as well.
But that's his canon.
He
had sex and then Jaden became evil.
That's true. For a while, I had my blue hair boy theory for Yu-Gi-Oh, where eventually, apart from in the OG, there will come a point in a Yu-Gi-Oh series where they get a blue boyfriend. Because GX, Series 3, you give him Jesse. 5Ds, yeah, we're done with women now. He's got Bruno. Then in Vrains, they give him Soulburner, who's the bitchiest, fucking blue-haired boy around. I'm trying to think. In Zexal, they don't have a blue-haired boy. But I'm just trying. They do a lot of these blue-haired boys.
They don't got a blue-haired boy in Arc 5 either.
It's true, but Arc 5 is. Well, I'd say it's very much Yuya and Yuzu being a thing. They actually committed to it.
So it depends. Are we going manga or are we going anime here? Because
I was gonna say that manga's got some weird stuff.
The manga got some weird stuff going on in it, and it's a bit worrying. I have the Arc 5 manga, and it's still sealed because I don't want to acknowledge the final book. I don't want to do it. I don't like this time situation. I don't want to be a part of this.
So it's been a while since I read it. Doesn't he become? She becomes his mother in a way,
yes.
She? And births him and the 4 U-boys.
Yep.
Which people hate that ending. And I'm like...
That's a weird ending!
It is weird, but I still prefer it as a world where all 4 U-boys get to exist.
I do, because my Yuto boy did not get enough time. I would be okay with Yugo not existing.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh!
I still love Yugo, but... I don't know. I got a Jack Atlas. I don't need a Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm good.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh because he's so Arc 5. Watching Arc 5 live, because obviously as a kid I'd watch GX, I'd watched 5Ds whatever episodes came on and I could. Arc 5 was the first time I'd watched it coming out weekly as a 16-year-old that isn't 8. I was actually I had a bit more of a brain to me to actually enjoy it, and the twists that kept coming, when Yuto came in and he took his mask off and it's oh my god, it's the same as you. What the hell has happened here? The Dimension War, the Sora twist, then the Dennis.
Dude. The Dennis twist, so good. I'm never gonna not think of that duel as one of my favorite duels ever. When it's Dennis and is it Shay dueling it out, and he's switches up his deck midway,
and he's got
the traitor, and he's okay, I guess you're onto me, so I'll just use the ancient gears and confirm your theory. That is a heated duel that was built up to really well. That's still one of my favorite duels to this day.
Yeah, I didn't love the way Arc 5 ended, but I'm not going to pretend that an ending I didn't love will spoil so much good stuff in Arc 5, because Arc 5
I rewatched it and I realized that Yuya is so frigging depressing. He's got sadness goggles. He always puts goggles on when he's sad. And he spends an entire season being like, how can I be a duelist if I can't duel Tane? I was like, dude, you don't have my job. You're fine. You don't actually have to do that. You're all right. Just play the duel, dude. Come on. Fine. But
he's really interesting.
Goggles.
It's interesting because people judge him based on the still screenshot of him looking all happy and clappy on the hip hop hippo. But he's nothing like that as a person. It's all an act. He's always pretending to be happy. He acts like Jaden, but he's really sadder than any of them.
I like my glasses because I get to do sadness goggles too. So it makes me happy. I can just be all I'm sad. Oh.
You need to animate it so they fill with the tears like his little goggles
it's okay.
do.
They're not gonna fill. I got my tears. I got my sadness goggles. Until I do it, I'm losing a duel.
That's true. Thanks for listening to my chat with Mistress Doom. I have a new guest lined up for next week, so stay tuned for that. This is also the last episode coming out in Pride Month, so happy Pride Month to all of you in the LGBTQ+ community who hopefully you've had a nice month. And this podcast is also coming out on Eid, so have a nice Eid to all those who celebrate it. My question last week was, what is everyone's favourite deck? We had 2 responses. Mr. Bourne said Scareclaw and D-Link, which I'm assuming is Dragon Link, which is a very fun deck. I miss when I used to play it myself. Zach Star said always loved Destiny Heroes, which I still do myself, as I'm a hero hunter, as you could see on TikTok. I've just started collecting every single hero card in the game. And over to the poll, I asked, did you think women are treated fairly in Yu-Gi-Oh? And the majority think no. That's 85% of voters said no, and 14% said yes. Hopefully we can change that perception by having lots of awesome female content creators in the Yu-Gi-Oh space. This podcast has highlighted just a few of them, but there's loads more out there, and hopefully another one next week. Until next time, have a lovely week, have a lovely weekend when it comes, and I'll see you next week for T-Set Pass.